Why would a teenage girl wearing men's clothing ignite such fear and fascination that she would be burned at the stake? This question takes us back to the early 15th century, to the life of Joan of Arc, a peasant girl whose story is as intriguing as it is tragic. Born in 1412 in Domremy, a small village in northeastern France, Joan was a simple peasant girl, but her life took an extraordinary turn at the age of 13 when she started hearing voices. These voices, she claimed, were divine in nature, guiding her to drive the English out of France and bring the Dauphin, the future Charles VII, to the throne. In a time when women were largely confined to the domestic sphere, Joan defied societal norms. She wore men's clothing and cut her hair short, adopting a martial appearance. But this was more than a mere fashion statement. It was a radical act that challenged the gender conventions of her time. Guided by her divine visions, Joan convinced the Dauphin of her mission. At just 17, she led French troops to a miraculous victory at Orleans, a turning point in the 100 Years' War. Her leadership and bravery on the battlefield earned her the nickname the Maid of Orleans, a testament to her youth and courage. But Joan's triumph was short-lived. In 1430, she was captured by the Burgundians, allies of the English, during a military campaign. She was sold to the English and put on trial for heresy, largely based on her claim of divine guidance and her transgressive attire. The trial was a spectacle, a collision of faith, politics, and fear. Despite her eloquent defense and unwavering faith, Joan was convicted and sentenced to death. At just 19, she was burned at the stake in the market square of Rouen, her young life brutally extinguished. But Joan's story didn't end with her death. 25 years later, a posthumous retrial conducted by the Catholic Church found her innocent, turning the narrative of her life from heretic to martyr. In 1920, nearly 5 centuries after her death, she was canonized as a saint. Joan of Arc's life and death have fascinated people for centuries. She has become a symbol of French unity and nationalism, an icon of courage and faith in the face of adversity. Her story speaks to the power of belief and the cost of defying societal norms. It's a tale of a young woman who dared to believe she was chosen by God, who defied gender norms and led an army to victory, only to be betrayed and killed by those she sought to help. Joan of Arc, a beacon of bravery and faith, left an indelible mark on history, her tragic end only amplifying her enduring legacy. Joan's story continues to inspire, reminding us of the power of faith, the courage to defy societal norms, and the tragic cost of fear and prejudice. How did a woman in ancient Alexandria become a symbol of the tension between faith and reason? Meet Hypatia of Alexandria, born around 360 AD. Not just a woman, but an intellectual giant in a time and place where women were seldom seen in the public sphere, let alone in the realm of academia. Hypatia was a mathematician, astronomer, and philosopher in a world dominated by men. Her father, Theon, himself a renowned mathematician and philosopher, raised her not as a typical Alexandrian girl, but as a scholar. She became a beacon of learning in Alexandria, a city that was a melting pot of different cultures and religions. Hypatia was not just known for her advanced knowledge, but also for her teachings. She was the head of the Neoplatonic school in Alexandria, where she taught philosophy and astronomy. Her students were not just locals, but also included influential political figures. Hypatia was admired not only for her intellect but also for her virtue and ethical standards. However, this respected position put her in the crosshairs of rising religious and political tensions. Her close relationship with Orestes, the Roman prefect of Alexandria, sparked the ire of Cyril, the Christian bishop of the city. As the tides of religious fervor swelled, Hypatia found herself caught in a storm she did not create. In 415 AD, Hypatia was brutally murdered by a mob of Christian zealots. They blamed Hypatia for causing religious unrest, accusing her of witchcraft and paganism. Her death was not just the end of a brilliant woman, it represented a cultural shift, a symbolic end to the age of ancient pagan culture and the rise of Christianity in the Roman Empire. But Hypatia's story doesn't end there. Over the centuries, she has become a symbol, a martyr for science and learning. Her death is seen as a defining moment, highlighting the conflict between the old and new ideologies, between pagan scholarship and Christian faith. Hypatia's life and tragic death challenged the narratives about the relationship between faith and reason. So, who was Hypatia really? A woman of science in a world of faith, a beacon of reason in a sea of superstition, a symbol of resistance in the face of oppressive dogma. Her legacy continues to inspire and challenge us today. She stands as a testament to the pursuit of knowledge, reminding us that the quest for truth often comes at a high price. In her life, Hypatia tore down barriers, defying the societal norms of her time. In her death, she became a symbol of the tension between faith and reason, her story echoing through the halls of history. As we delve into the past, Hypatia's story serves as a poignant reminder of the timeless struggle between knowledge and ignorance, between progress and stagnation. Hypatia's tragic end marked the clash of ideologies, and her legacy continues to challenge narratives about faith, reason, and the role of women in science. What ideas could be so dangerous that they would cost a man his life in the Renaissance era? Let's delve into the story of Giordano Bruno, a man whose radical theories set him apart from his contemporaries and put him on a collision course with the religious authorities of his time. Giordano Bruno, born in 1548, was an Italian Dominican friar with a mind that dared to wander beyond the realms of accepted thought. He was not content just to accept what he was told, and he was not afraid to question the doctrines of his faith. This thirst for knowledge and understanding led him down a path that was fraught with danger, but also filled with discovery. Bruno's most revolutionary idea was his belief in an infinite universe. This was a concept that flew in the face of the geocentric model of the universe that was widely accepted at the time, which placed the Earth at the center of all celestial bodies. Bruno proposed that the stars we see in the night sky are suns like our own, each potentially surrounded by their own planets. He dared to suggest that these worlds might even be inhabited. This idea of a multiplicity of worlds was a radical departure from the established beliefs of the time. But Bruno didn't just keep these ideas to himself. He wandered across Europe, challenging academic and theological authorities with his theories. He was a relentless seeker of truth, not content with the limits of contemporary understanding. This journey was not without its perils. His ideas were seen as heresy by the Church, a dangerous challenge to the established order. In the end, Bruno's pursuit of truth and his determination to challenge the status quo led to his downfall. He was tried for heresy by the Roman Inquisition, found guilty, and burned at the stake in the year 1600. His execution underscored the tension between emerging scientific discoveries and religious doctrine during the Renaissance. Bruno's story is a poignant reminder of the dangers of challenging accepted beliefs and the power of the Church during this period in history. His death was tragic, but his ideas lived on. They were so ahead of their time that they prefigured modern scientific principles, and his name has been forever linked with the concept of an infinite universe. Bruno's life and death illustrate the struggle between faith and reason, a struggle that continues to this day. His story is a testament to the power of ideas and the courage it takes to stand by them, even in the face of the gravest consequences. Giordano Bruno, a relentless seeker of truth, paid the ultimate price for his forward-thinking ideas, shaping our understanding of the universe. His story serves as a reminder of the lengths to which humanity has gone in pursuit of knowledge, and the dangers that can arise when new ideas challenge established beliefs. But as Bruno himself might have believed, the quest for understanding is a journey without end, a journey that pushes us to explore beyond the boundaries of our current knowledge into the infinite expanse of the universe. What could a man of words, a philosopher, do to warrant a death sentence in ancient Athens? Socrates, an enigmatic figure who lived in 5th century BC, is best known not for grand battles or political intrigues, but for his powerful ideas and relentless questioning. His method of probing inquiry, the Socratic method, sought to peel back the layers of assumption and get to the heart of knowledge and virtue. Socrates, however, was not a philosopher in a vacuum. He was a citizen of Athens, a city-state with a burgeoning democracy and high-stakes political struggles. His relentless questioning and his teachings, which inspired a generation of ambitious young men, didn't always sit well with the powers that be. Socrates, they claimed, was corrupting the youth and disrespecting the gods. These charges led to his trial in 399 BC, a momentous event that would echo through the ages. Socrates' trial was not just an indictment of the man, but of his philosophy. His defense, recorded in Plato's Apology, was not a plea for mercy, but a staunch affirmation of his beliefs. He argued that his questioning was a service to the city, a divine mission to encourage virtue and wisdom. He even suggested that if acquitted, he would continue his philosophical pursuits. This audacious defense, however, did not sway the jury. Socrates was sentenced to die by consuming a cup of poison hemlock. Faced with death, Socrates had a choice: He could escape as his friends urged him to, or he could accept his sentence. True to his principles, Socrates chose to obey the law and meet his end. His calm acceptance of death, as depicted in Plato's Phaedo, stands as a testament to his commitment to his philosophical ideals. Socrates' death was a pivotal moment in the history of ideas. It marked a tragic end for the philosopher, but was not the end of his influence. His ideas, preserved and expanded upon by his students, particularly Plato, formed the bedrock of Western philosophy. His method of questioning became a tool for critical thinking, his concept of the examined life a cornerstone of ethical theory. His trial and death, meanwhile, serve as a stark reminder of the dangers of intolerance and the fragile nature of democracy. Socrates' tragic end underscores the timeless tension between truth and power, leaving a profound legacy in Western thought. His story, then, is not just a tale of a philosopher who dared to question, but a reflection on the values and ideals we hold dear in our societies today. The philosophical martyr Socrates continues to challenge us, asking us to question, to examine, and ultimately to strive for wisdom. What makes a man a national hero? His valor in battle or his tragic end? This question brings us to the tale of William Wallace, a figure who looms large in the chronicles of Scottish history. Born around 1270, Wallace was a man of humble beginnings who ascended to legendary status through courage, tenacity, and an unwavering commitment to his homeland's independence. In the late 13th century, Scotland found itself under the oppressive rule of King Edward I of England. It was during these tumultuous times that Wallace emerged as a beacon of defiance. He rallied his fellow Scots, leading them into battle against their oppressive overlords. His name became synonymous with the struggle for freedom, a rallying cry for those who longed to break the chains of English rule. The most famous of these battles was the Battle of Stirling Bridge in 1297. Despite being vastly outnumbered, Wallace's strategic genius led the Scots to a decisive victory, shaking the foundations of English control. This triumph elevated Wallace from a mere soldier to a symbol of resistance, a beacon of hope in a time of despair. But victory, as it often does, came with a heavy price. In 1305, Wallace was betrayed by a fellow Scot and captured by English forces. He was transported to London, where he was put on trial for treason. Unbowed, Wallace maintained his innocence, stating, "I could not be a traitor to Edward, for I was never his subject." His words fell on deaf ears, and he was sentenced to a brutal and public execution. Wallace's death was a tragedy, a brutal end to a life of resistance. Yet in his demise, he became more than just a man. His story spread across the hills and valleys of Scotland, igniting a spark that would eventually lead to the country's independence. His name became a rallying cry, his life a symbol of the unyielding pursuit of freedom. Even today, centuries after his death, his legacy lives on in the hearts and minds of the Scottish people. In the face of oppression, Wallace stood tall, a beacon of defiance against the might of England. His courage in battle and his tragic end have etched his name in the annals of history. His story serves as a powerful reminder of the human spirit's capacity for resistance and the enduring power of national identity. William Wallace's life is a testament to the indomitable spirit of freedom. His story, marked by courage, defiance, and an unwavering commitment to his homeland, continues to inspire millions around the world. His tragic end did not signify defeat, but rather the birth of an enduring symbol of resistance and the unwavering pursuit of freedom. So, what makes a man a national hero? His valor in battle or his tragic end? Perhaps it's neither. Perhaps it's the legacy they leave behind, the stories that echo through the ages, and the spirit of freedom that lives on long after they're gone. William Wallace's tragic end cemented his status as a national hero, his story echoing through the ages as a testament to the human spirit's unyielding pursuit of freedom.